First time in our history, and the first time in 100 years, the nation shows some signs of really dealing with its central problem instead of, as it has done for 100 years, avoiding it, evading it, denying it, lying about it, pretending it did not exist. The country will have to now go to work, and very hard work, very dangerous work, to change itself, to achieve this dream that Martin was talking about. And if we do not achieve this dream, we have no future at all.
America, we are here. We are here. My people don't want no trouble. We've had enough trouble.
Always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
It's June 26th, and I've tested positive for the coronavirus. My family is well versed in the medical field. They have me on a strict regimen of vitamin C and D and sleep and zinc and tea and checking my temperature twice a day. My father calls me every day and I have to answer because I don't want him to worry. Even though it's been about 10 days and I've experienced no symptoms. None of this is new to me. This America, the one I call my home, has been battling another pandemic since long before I took my first steps. It has claimed the most lives, garners the most fear, lives inside the most people. The infected refuse to isolate, so science postulates that it will spread from hearts to head and heads to hand and then to lead. See, the thing about a virus is that all it wants to do is spread its DNA. But when DNA replicates, there is always a chance for mutation, so even if you treat it, a mutated version can still survive. America's virus started out as good old-fashioned slavery. You know, the kind you read about in the Bible, the I have good weapons and you don't kind, so I'll take this land if you don't mind, and you're working for pennies on the dime, and I do it myself, but I don't have the time. And the lazy mutates to hatred and becomes broken bucks and torture and strange fruit orchards and children stripped of culture and language and identity and dignity, but never the hope, never the strength. So we treat it, and it mutates to terrorism. White-hooded ghosts that slice throats and burn crosses, bomb so many citizens they can put shame to ISIS, the kind of riots that will make Watts look like a block party. So we treat it, and it mutates to Jim Crow, and it mutates to COINTELPRO, and it mutates to crack coat and black homes, and it mutates to mass incarceration and gentrification, and wallets mistaken for guns, and dropped bodies and lost sons and forgotten daughters who are often slaughtered but never get the hashtag America is sick. You could argue it's never been healthy. The virus keeps spreading because the infected refuse to take it seriously. Meanwhile, they just cough up slurs like broken down mufflers. But at least then we get to see the gas. I have no fear for them. I fear the ones who wear the mask. Those who claim to have no symptoms but refuse to isolate from obvious patients. They don't wash their hands of the blood. They just sanitize the history books. They'll like your status but never check on you or check their family's views or cut off Fox News. They'll never say it, but they let all of that stuff stew. Meanwhile, my father calls me every day. And I have to answer because I don't want him to worry. We both know there is no vaccination coming. We both know there's no quick fix. We both know that even though anyone can be infected, we are the immunocompromised. Every time the newest strain hits, we are always dying at a higher rate. You would swear it was designed that way. Like an evil scientist swabbed the mouth of Willie Lynch and Thomas Jefferson, spread it on a petri dish and said, "Here, America. This is your culture. Inject it in your veins and I promise you will pass it down to your children." And they say they're not a racist and I say, fine. But have you been tested? Did you check your friend's temperature when they walked in the door? When their black joke tickled the back of your throat, did you cover your mouth? Did you quarantine? What kind of vitamins have you read this week? Have you ever taken anything that will remove the toxins from your body? Because if not, I suggest you give me at least 6 feet.
This Cali girl, but she's so New York. Tattoos on her hand, she says it didn't hurt. She didn't know hurry, walking without worries. Downtown's hella busy, traffic got me dizzy. We all want so much and have it last real long. Still hurting from missing things we've been wishing for, wishing for. Make my own breeze, do my own thing. Call it like I see it, I call it like I see it. People pushing us aside.